Well, a lot of stocks in the broader markets moving very, very well. Granules India, that's a stock that's spiked up in the last few minutes. So keep an eye out on the mid-cap index. That's been doing a relative outperformance, and stocks continue to do well out there as well. But let's shift focus to the commodity space. Manisha is with us to run us through all those details. Manisha.
Thank you so much for that, Nigel. And one area that you will need to keep an eye on, and so will India do, especially during the election times, is the crude oil prices, where we are meeting crucial levels here with nearly 25% gains in the first quarter. We are holding $60 per barrel for the US crude oil prices and around 68 plus kind of levels for the Brent as well. And another day where you have seen 0.25% of gains come in, and this is on the back of supply cuts, Venezuela supply concerns, and the markets are looking at strong demand estimates, even as we have seen the weak economic data from the global markets there, and some anticipate estimates that you could be looking at a balance or even a deficit in this quarter and the next as well. So that really seems to be the factor that is supporting the crude oil prices on your screens. Joining us to talk more about that, especially with strategies, is Ranisha Chenani. Ranisha, hi, good to have you. How have you been reading various fundamentals on the crude oil prices, and at these current levels, how would you want to trade the prices?
Hi, Manisha. Good afternoon. Crude oil prices are seeing a tug-of-war situation where we have seen there are a lot of supply constraints, like where OPEC and Russia decided to cut 1.2 million barrels per day, but actually they are having a cut of more than 2 million barrels per day from last 2-3 months. So the compliance is more than 100%, and this is what is supporting prices. And additionally, Venezuela and Iran production cuts have also supported the prices. But on the other side, rising crude oil inventories in U.S. and rising production in U.S., this is what is hammering the prices. So I think overall prices would be in a consolidation zone, but as prices have cleared the $60 mark, I think there could be some gains that could be seen. For today, I'm expecting if prices sustain above 41.50, 60 levels at MCX, we can see prices heading higher towards 4,200 to 4,220. So buying is recommended at current levels.
Sure. Ranisha, also, how are you looking at the gold prices now? Because we seem to be trading near major resistance levels here. We have seen prices gain up to 1324 in the global markets, and it's come back. It hasn't been able to hold above 1320 as well.
Yes, we have seen that 1325 is acting as a strong resistance, and yesterday there was a day where sentiment was risk off and prices had good run up because we saw that yields curve was inverted, and that was a concern because whenever yield curves are inverted, we see recession coming in, and this has been the history from last 60 years. But as more and more economists and analysts saw that this is just a short-term phenomena, today we have seen the sentiment has turned to be a risk on, and safe haven assets are not performing that well. But I think overall trend is still positive. So buying could be initiated in gold. I'm expecting the prices to touch 32,200 to 32,300 kind of levels in a day or two.
And finally, before we let you go, Ranisha, how are you looking at the metal prices, especially zinc, where we have seen further declines in the global inventories? Do you see that one factor supporting, with almost everything else slightly on the bearish side?
Overall, base metal fundamentals are not that good, and as US-China trade talks are not coming to an end and they are not that much positive, we have seen that base metal prices are trading somewhat vulnerable. But one metal that has been my favorite in 2019 has been zinc, because its fundamentals are very good. It's been the fourth year where zinc would see deficit in 2019, and moreover its inventories are falling, and now it has come to 28-year lows. So that is what is impacting and supporting the prices a lot. So I would recommend to buy zinc April contract around 215 with the stop loss of 214. Upside could be seen around 217 to 18 in a day or two.
Okay, all right. Thanks so much for that, Manisha, as well as Ranisha, for joining in and running us through all those commodity trading strategies. On that note, we'll wrap up on Halftime Report. You stay with us. Business Lunch comes up next.